Walt Disney in full Walter Elias Disney. Born December 5, 1901, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Died December 15, 1966. Los Angeles, California, American motion picture and television producer and showman. Famous as a pioneer of animated cartoon films and as the creator of such cartoon characters as Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. He also planned and built Disneyland, a huge amusement park that opened near Los Angeles in 1955. And before his death, he had begun building a second such park. Walt Disney World, near Orlando, Florida. The Disney company he founded has become one of the world's largest entertainment conglomerates. When you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly and unquestionable. Animation can explain whatever the mind of man can conceive. This facility makes it the most versatile and explicit means of communication yet devised for quick mass appreciation. I would rather entertain and hope that people learned something than educate people and hope they were entertained. Times and conditions change so rapidly that we must keep our aim constantly focused on the future. When you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do. A man should never neglect his family for business. Our heritage and ideals, our code and standards of the things we live by and teach our children are preserved or diminished by how freely we exchange ideas and feelings. There is more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure Island. I have been up against tough competition all my life. I wouldn't know how to get along without it. I love Mickey Mouse more than any woman I have ever known. Of all of our inventions for mass communication, pictures still speak the most universally understood language. Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. Animation offers a medium of story, telling and visual entertainment, which can bring pleasure and information to people of all ages, everywhere in the world. I don't like formal gardens. I like wild nature. It's just the wilderness instinct in me, I guess. Of all the things I've done, the most vital is coordinating those who work with me and aiming their efforts at a certain goal. I never called my work an art. It's part of show business, the business of building entertainment. I'd say it's been my biggest problem all my life. It's money. It takes a lot of money to make these dreams come true. Mickey Mouse popped out of my mind onto a drawing pad 20 years ago on a train ride from Manhattan to Hollywood at a time when business fortunes of my brother Roy and myself were at lowest ebb and disaster seemed right around the corner. Crowded classrooms and half-day sessions are a tragic waste of our greatest national resource, the minds of our children. Disneyland is a work of love. We didn't go into Disneyland just with the idea of making money. We believed in our idea of a family park where parents and children could have fun together. You reach a point where you don't work for money. I have no use for people who throw their weight around as celebrities or for those who fawn over you just because you are famous. Laughter is America's most important export. You can't just let nature run wild. All cartoon characters and fables must be exaggeration caricatures. It is the very nature of fantasy and fable. Animation is different from other parts. Its language is the language of caricature. Our most difficult job was to develop the cartoons, a natural but seemingly natural anatomy for humans and animals. I tried to build a full personality for each of our cartoon characters too. Make them personalities. I do not like to repeat successes. I like to go on to other things. We are not trying to entertain the critics. I'll take my chances with the public. Mickey Mouse is, to me, a symbol of independence. He was a means to an end. There's nothing funnier than the human animal. Whenever I go on a ride, I'm always thinking of what's wrong with the thing and how it can be improved. People still think of me as a cartoonist, but the only thing I lift a pen or pencil for these days is to sign a contract, a check, or an autograph. We allow no geniuses around our studio. We have created characters and animated them in the dimension of depth, revealing through them to our perturbed world that the things we have in common far outnumber and outweigh those that divide us. It's no secret that we were sticking just about every nickel we had on the chance that people would really be interested in something totally new and unique in the field of entertainment. We did it Disneyland in the knowledge that most of the people I talked to thought it would be a financial disaster, closed and forgotten within the first year. I started, actually, to make my first animated cartoon in 1920. Of course, they were very crude things then, and I used sort of little puppet things. I am not influenced by the techniques or fashions of any other motion picture company. If you can dream it, you can do it. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. I always like to look on the optimistic side of life, but I am realistic enough to know that life is a complex matter. You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. It's kind of fun to do the impossible. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. The more you like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes you unique. You're dead if you aim only for kids. Adults are only kids grown up anyway. Movies can and do have tremendous influence in shaping young lives in the realm of entertainment towards the ideals and objectives of normal adulthood. I only hope that we don't lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse. When you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly and unquestionable. Animation can explain whatever the mind of man can conceive. This facility makes it the most versatile and explicit means of communication yet devised for quick mass appreciation. Let's take what we can take from him and build our life. If you think this video is important, stay tuned for more like this. Subscribe to the channel and join us. Share if you think it's important to someone else.